Post and Pairs. We on again, joined by Nyash and Kisset. Guys, how are you feeling?
Yeah, good. We're joined today by Menga. Good to have him around.
Pretty good. You know, started off well. It's a pleasure to sit with you guys and join the hottest show in town, I guess,
Love it. So yeah, today let's start with the under-20s. Let's look at the game against Uruguay. Tough. Obviously, we expected a little bit more from our lads, but yeah, it wasn't to be. What are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, it wasn't to be, but I think the key things we always knew before the guys left that we're going to be found wanting at set pieces. The lineouts weren't going as planned, especially even more so on defense when we're trying to defend the lineout. I know stepping away from lineouts can be a strategy, but it can't be throughout the game. You see it at multiple levels with teams that we need to come up with something a bit more solid there. But as well, I think in attack.
Yeah, but also that, Nyasha, so obviously just to interject, sorry. If you speak of lineouts, you speak of set pieces, that's face ball. That's where the ball originates, right? So we allowed Uruguay to keep on having that momentum and front foot ball. Then becomes really difficult to defend that because they were just getting this, A-class ball, and they were able to sort of punish us with that. So just going on what you just said, it's then key to find ways, and I think that's not only the under-20 issue. That's the Zimbabwe schoolboy, even at national team level issue. I go back to the game against the Goshawks against the Pumas. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. But they conceded a lot of more tries, I think 4 or 5 in that game. So it's not only an under-20 issue. We need to try starve teams off that face-to-face possession.
I think that's a good point, Ricky, in terms of how Uruguay utilized their first phase ball. But also when they didn't have the ball, they put so much pressure on the breakdown so that the ball that Brendan Marumia got was just not clean enough, whether it was the service from a new halfback, Shadi, but it was just not clean enough. And then he would end up then having to throw also, bad passes, and obviously bad begets bad, so it ends up just being crappy. And then they were lateral as well. They don't, Alex a few times tried to punch it as that is his game, try to punch it in straight, but that was just one of the main problems there.
Yeah, and Keith said you speak about attack, and that's what this team is renowned for, right? They run the ball. They've scored some really good tries in the last 2 years. But I think, and this is just me, that could have been also a bit of our undoing against Uruguay, in that we lacked a bit of patience in our attack, because we scored so freely and we've managed to move the ball around over the last 2 years. I think there's times where we then force the issue, whereas a team against a team like Uruguay, maybe just be a bit patient, look to score off the next phase or the phase after. Not always on that phase, or when you make a line break, you're looking to score. So that lack of patience, got us coughing up a bit of possession there.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think there were 2-3 times that we could have then scored if when we broke the line, got tackled, just reset, then catch the team offside and attack again, and eventually we're going to catch them outnumbered in defense and eventually score. But we then throw that miraculous ball and it knocks on or something, and then,
And I know you guys have accused me of hyperbole when I say that I think we had the most talented group at the tournament.
Yes.
And I still believe that. It's just that obviously I think going forward we need to be able to give our boys this much games at this level, also the same intensity, like frequently, right? So that they do not find it out at such big events, at big dances. But looking forward to the next game. What you got?
And I just bring us some, man. And obviously, I think I'm going to get shaved about this, but going back to St. George's versus PE this weekend, and I'm just obviously piggybacking off your point, Kisset, about matches at a certain level. And obviously, St. George's managed to get one over PE.
Yeah.
And I would say, much of that came from the fact that PE hasn't played as many games as St. John's at that intensity and at that level. And you could see as the game went on in the sort of the final, quarter of the game that, St. George's almost had a bit more legs and, a bit more composure just because they'd been at that level a few more times than PE.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Yasha, what do you think might be looking forward to the next games? Like, what do they need to do a little differently to, you're a resident analyst, so what do you think?
I think, when we're in attack, what's happening is that our decoy runners, they are not looking like they're going to get the ball. So then they defeats the purpose of being a decoy runner. Right? So they need to genuinely look like they're going to get the ball so that defender sticks and is fixed, which allows us to play it back and deep and then attack wide. So what's then happening, or which happened against Uruguay, their defense just shifted, because they could see that those decoy runners had no intentions of getting the ball, right? And they were just, so it needs to
look at that, right?
Yeah. But I think from what you're saying about playing games at that level, you then see it with the team selection changing often. It's that I think the coaching staff are realizing certain aspects about the players as the tournament is going, and they're making those changes. Trying Doroid Hooker worked off while he was playing here, but I think going at this high level, it didn't work out. So you see for the USA game, he's back at flank. Benoni is now being tried at fly half. You can still see that it's almost like we shouldn't have expectations like this is the end or this is Baker. It's still developing players and developing talent to say, this is almost like the beginning. We still need to figure out who plays best where.
Absolutely. And you have to give credit to Sean and his technical team for the work that they've done thus far. And like you said, we can't see this as the end. I think we're still in a very good space in terms of where our under-20 rugby is at the moment. It's still the most exciting group, still the most exciting team in the country. And we can't, obviously, 2 defeats, on the bounce. No one wants that, but let's not take away from everything that they've done thus far.
Awesome.
So thoughts on USA. He said, I know you are now.
You are there, Kenya. Tell us a bit more intel.
And he's an adopted son of the USA. So firstly, where are your allegiances? Zimbabwe versus USA. Where do you love?
Well, the USA guys, Colton, Darren, and those guys were asking me the same question last week, and I'm 70-30, right? 70 obviously to Zimbabwe. So and obviously 30% USA has become home. USA has been good to me.
Yeah.
I contribute a lot there, so obviously, and I know the coaching staff and know some of the players, so there's definitely a desire for them to do well, but obviously not against Zimbabwe, not to do too well. I want them to have a really good game. But going back to that, they have some really sorted players. They have a kid out of Hartbury College, they wing number 14. He was playing special player. He's playing, he's a freshman at Hartbury College and has already experienced some first-team games. Anyone who knows Hartbury College rugby knows that it's hard to crack that first-team team. And especially as a fresher, specials. And he's already had a few games under his belt for the first team. So watch out for him.
Be interesting, him and Sigauke.
Yeah, it's Gauke's special as well, So it'll be. I'm just expecting a good game, but obviously, hopefully, Sean and these boys get the first W.
Well, so that's obviously tomorrow, and we'll obviously tune in and look at how our charges are gonna go with that. Just to come closer to home, not in Kenya anymore. Let's come back home and talk about the club semi-finals this weekend. OH were up against Pitbulls. And then obviously the old fours went at each other again, Sports Club versus OGs. So
I gotta say, Ricky, before you go on, I gotta give a big shout out to Paramount Clubs for coming in, supporting our club system, which has been in disarray. Finally, we get some semblance of organization, and that's not due to a lack of expertise in our rugby community. It's just resources. They've come in and we're willing to resource our our club game. You know, there's some nice graphics going up every week. Yeah. You can see the news is filtering. You can see what's happening. So big shout out to Powerbound Garments. Please continue to support our rugby.
Absolutely. And then just on that, and then we're just gonna touch on it quickly. OGs came on top, and then OH came on top. I just want to zone in just for maybe 30 seconds to a minute. Just talk about OH and how they've sort of rose through.
I've watched it for you, man. Pete Bernardi. Pete Bernardi. What a lad. What a lad.
No,
what a lad.
That's just Pete Bernardi. No. Definitely Pete Bernardi has had a huge impact. Yeah. Not just him. I think he's coming with a...
Yeah.
I know Kevin, exceptional scrubbing coach.
He's an hour, man. What do you expect?
Yeah.
What? Excellence, man. Excellent to Florida.
The experience he's had down south in Cape Town, you know, the heartland there, and then coming in and helping our guys has been phenomenal. But I think one common denominator we can't go away from is that each time a national team is based at a particular club, that club steps up.
Yeah.
So it's good that they've been moving around. You know, I remember when OGs was pretty much the base for Savers and Sevens. You saw the quality rise up in the club. Not just that they were relying on some of those players to play, but just the general player in there stepped up. And when it was at Sports Club, they stepped up. Now, you know, Goshawk is pretty much based at OH, and it's rising the level. And then it forces everyone else to step up.
So let's step up.
And that's what we need.
And now we've got obviously the final, OH versus OGs. Is
a good one.
It's a bit of a bumper weekend at Prince Edward with a whole lot lined up. So it should be exciting to be there.
I mean, one is to also give a shout out to the guys that are responsible for uplifting the girls' game, the women's game. You can tell the difference in terms of the quality of play, and that's also due to a lot of people putting in time. You know, so
yeah. And I think generally that bottom tier of our club rugby, both female and male, has risen.
Yeah, well, the gap is closing. Yeah,
you know, I mean, they're not at that level. The bottom clubs are not at that level of OH yet, but they are playing structured rugby. You know, the knock-ons are not. It's looking like rugby. And it can only get better.
I also got to sneak in my Mkoma Zam. You know, Parai has always been behind OH.
Yes.
Been putting in funds into OH, and that's pretty good to see. We want more corporates, more brands, more people involved in supporting rugby at all levels.
Exciting. Just to wrap up, guys, because we are again we can go all day.
Yeah.
Just a touch. We can, but we won't.
Rodney won't allow.
Yeah, you won't. Just to touch on the Schoolboy weekend. There's a few, appetite.
Previous one or
this one coming.
Okay.
So you got St. John's.
Why don't you want to talk about the last one, man? I had your little hand this week.
I think it was a good one. It was a good one. So that went well.
Okay.
Like I said, in the sake of time.
Yeah.
So St. George's. He said,
the man is up. The man is up.
Prince Edward Nomagandi, Peter House Falcon. Always, those are the headliners. There's many more. Those are the headliners.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I think, it'll be a good game between Falcon and Peterhouse. Yeah. But I think, St. George's and Falcon were the two teams. Or Falcon beat Peterhouse before away. And St. George's got close within 4 points. If it wasn't for the misconversions, I think it would have been an upset.
Yeah.
But I think the key thing I've seen from those two teams, how they've managed to get close to Peterhouse or beat them, has been that they don't kick to the back three. Shama Jackson, Aguta Kona, and Shamu, the fullback, those guys kill. So you saw it versus St. John's that each time St. John's kicked, that's how they were loving it, because it takes at least two defenders to stop those guys, and they love running at you. So I think.
So are you giving tips to Derek here? So Derek, don't kick the ball.
All right. No, I don't think he listens to our show. They're out there. I guess don't kick it to those guys. They'll kill you. And on defense, if you just keep chipping away, those pick and goes, you find teams gain meters on Peterhouse on that.
And then obviously on Weaver, big one. The clash of the colleges, the Saints. Not quite sure they're angelic or any sense there, but good rugby played. St. John's. Unfortunately, lost at home, but they'll be looking to bounce back against a spirited Dragon side that just had a really good victory against So, yeah, I mean that too, but you know, W is a W.
Yeah,
But
I mean, to be fair, Sean has missed quite a number.
yeah,
He committed under 20 because he wasn't at Falcon and they beat Falcon. He wasn't at a couple of fixtures. Same with Alan. He's been committed to Zimana 20 predominantly.
yeah,
But it was, I think it's good for the game that the games are competitive. And yeah.
sure.
So let's see what goes down this weekend, and maybe that will be our main topic to review on our next podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know if Kisa is still gonna join us, but if he's not,
He's flying straight to the
top rugby.
Mate, I'll be waiting for the invite. Maybe you guys won't have me back, but
It's not there. We have more chance.
yeah. But thanks for having me, lad.
So
Thanks for coming through and all the best.
Yeah,
and
you guys doing great work. Thank you.
it's been a good one. But yeah, give us any feedback, any comments you want to add on. Yeah, we love it. We'll talk rugby. This is our dream, and we live for this. But cheers till next time.
Cheers, lads.